Okay, Kaizen Sensei here, going to talk to you about cGMP processes for design and development. Normally, whenever you do get an order, the, the customer provides you with an engineering design, and then you go ahead and manufacture it as per design. However, if none is available, then you have to reverse engineer based upon a prototype given to you. That still does not preclude you from going through what we call a design and development process, or D&D process, so that you can develop the ideal product. When you do so, there are some things that you need to collect and to identify. First of all is the critical to quality customer requirements. The customer has its own idea on how it's supposed to look, some of the aesthetic features to it. Number two, it has to follow industry standards such as ASTM, ANSI, things of that, so that when you do make your product, that by following these standards, at least you are certain that a plastic is a plastic, a steel is a steel, and a wood is a wood. Okay. Number three, design metrics. What are the specifications, the measurements, the strength, the tensile strength, the say that if you're using glue, what is the lifespan of that glue? Does that glue reduce integrity as a result of heat or cold? Okay. Number four, what are the qualifications for intended use? If you are going to make a dollhouse, that is going to be a dollhouse and it's not going to be a car. I mean, though it seems like it's pretty basic, one of the things that cGMP is very strong in is intended use. Is that product used for its intended use? For example, there's this thing about hydrochloroquine, okay? It's used for people with autoimmune disorders. Now it's going to be used for the coronavirus or COVID-19. People who use it for COVID-19 is not using it for its intended use, and as a result could suffer the consequences. Okay? The testing from it shows that people with autoimmune disorders has passed that test, that qualifications for intended use. Number five, what are the risk, hazards, threats of you making a wrong product or any of the particular raw materials that fits in it? And number six, all the raw materials that you will be using for whatever you're making should or shall have a certificate of authenticity. For example, if you purchase salt and it comes out with a certificate of authenticity, that will be enough to verify and validate that it is salt. But without it, and you purchase a bag of white grain, it could be anything. It could be sugar. It could be cornstarch. So it's very important that if you are buying plastic, that it has some sort of certificates of authenticity, not only of its make, like if it's polyethylene or polycarbonate, but also the strength and possibly the thin, the measurements. Okay. So once you have all of that and you've got this nice design, you create a prototype and then you test it. You test it based upon these qualifying factors. And if that works out, then you create a batch record. You create a batch record that has all of the materials, the tools and equipment necessary to make it, and finally the sequential steps to follow to come up with an end result. The way that when you run that beta test, verified through the batch record, the steps are validated through a time and motion and takt time study. So if you follow the steps and you follow the time and motion studies and it still comes out with a product that meets the qualifications for intended use, then you've got yourself an okay uh, design. Okay. Finally, a quality control inspection process must be written and followed so that it verifies and validates that the batch record, the batch represented from that batch record, meets all the qualifying standards. Okay? This is a basic cGMP 101 design and development process. If you do not follow this, there are some consequences. And some of them could be minor, but some of it could be very major. So it is best that you follow this as close as possible, and we should come up to a good conclusion.